What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're gonna be doing another My Team video, and today we're going to be rating your squads. So as I do every single week, I put out a tweet asking for you guys to send me your teams, and well, what I do is I rate those teams out of 10. So let's get on to it. Again, apologies if there is a little bit of background noise. I'll try to minimize that as much as possible in the audio. But again, let's just get on to it. So, if you guys want to send your team, I do tweet out once a week. Well, the two words, send teams. And yeah, people then, well, it's kind of in the name, they send teams. So yeah, now we're going to get on to it right here. So, first team we have got... Okay, I'm going to be trying to pick against some interesting teams. Okay. No money spent going for collector level. Got a lot of investment in 75th cards. Got Baron Davis, but he has not been good for me. Might use Gary Payton, PD, or Smart. So, yeah, like all of those guys are usable. Honestly, if you tell me, do you prefer Smart to all of them? That's fine. So, looking at his guys right here. He's got a few very solid players. He's got a few very, very solid players in Larry Hughes at the point guard position, who's really, really good. Mike Miller, again, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Miller. I know a lot of people do like the card. I'm not the highest on him. AK is brilliant, though. AK is absolutely brilliant. DeAndre Ayton's brilliant. KP's brilliant. Maurice Lucas is brilliant. DeRozan's really good at the power forward position. Or, sorry, at small forward position. I don't really like him power forward. Dan Marley more than does a job. And Marcus Smart, like, I'm thinking surely if you're going for collector level, even if you are no money spent, you would have some maybe higher tier players than this. But I mean, I like the team. I don't think there are any real flaws in the team. Like, there's some players that aren't great in there, but there are no bad players. There really are no bad players in that team. So yeah, I'll give it a... Like, it's as good as my team. Like, it genuinely is as good as my team. So I'll give it like an 8.3 out of 10, maybe. Is that going too high? Okay. Let me just find a team that's not, again, perfect. So this team's a little bit better than that team. This team's pretty much the same as the first team. Roughly 100k. Okay, so for having roughly 100k, I like to 5 out ISO pick and pop with Sura and DeRozan. Oubre is clamps, DeRozan's quick first step and handles for days. Almost have Tatum. Okay, so if you almost have Tatum, that means that you probably got DeAndre Ayton. And I'm going to be completely honest, DeAndre Ayton should be in this team if you have Tatum. Or if you're going for Tatum. So I think on the way, Larry Hughes, is he your backup point guard? Like, there is no reason to have Tim Hardaway in your team over Larry Hughes. Unless you are the biggest Miami Heat fan in the world, or the biggest Golden State Warriors fan, you want to run TMC, but I mean, you don't have Chris Mullin there, or Money Mitch. So I would say the first player to get rid of is that Tim Hardaway. Like, other than that, your teams, I don't really like Oubre, even if he has clamps. Like, I don't mind him, but like, he's a big body 2 guard. That's the best way he's being used, and you're using him as like a legit small forward. Like, there are a lot of better options than Kelly Oubre for pretty cheap, if I'm being honest. Like, Oubre is not cheap for what he is in game. So I'm gonna have to say this team's like, it's weak. Like, your bench is better. Like, you bring your whole bench into your starting lineup except Sura, and every player, like, Sura is the only player in your starting lineup that's better than your bench option. Like, Buddy's better than Jalen, DeRozan's better than Oubre, McDaniel's way better than Gordon, and Ibaka's better than Mikan. So, like, your bench might honestly outperform your... If your bench didn't have a... Like, I'm not even going to say bad, like, compared to Larry Hughes, just a not good point guard anyway. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr., he is the hardest player to use in the hunt for Peyton because he doesn't even come with range and you have to hit four-pointers with him. Which is a very, very annoying challenge. If you know anything about hitting 4-pointers without range extender, it's doable. It's definitely doable, but it's not easy. I've done it a lot with guys like Baron Davis and Manu, but it is not easy in the slide. It's not an easy thing to do at all. So yeah, I mean, I can't give this team more than like a 7. It's not great. It's honestly not a great team. So next we're on to, I mean, if you're, I'm just a heads up, if you're making your team look like this, I'm not rating it. I can't even see that team. Okay. Prefer Sura over and Gordon over Hughes, that's fine. That is fine. Like, if you prefer like certain players over certain players, that's completely fine. And if you don't agree with one of my suggestions, again, that's completely fine. Game's about having fun. Okay, 10k MT. Would like a replacement for Serge. Why would you want to replace Serge Ibaka? Like, what would make you want to replace Serge? It's not like he's like arguably as good as DeAndre Ayton. There is absolutely no reason for you to replace Serge Ibaka. Unless, again, overall snob, and you think that just because John Collins is a pink diamond means he's better than means he's better than Serge. Like, you've got Tatum, so you've got Larry Hughes, so there's absolutely zero reason to have Kyrie Irving in your squad. Like, I don't even mind Kyrie Irving. There's just no reason to have him over Larry Hughes. Tatum's really good. On the way to getting Tatum, you get Bob Sura is pretty good. So I think, do you get anyone else on the way that would? You probably don't. Maybe Zebo over John Collins, but like John Collins is not bad, but he should be the player you're looking to replace and not Serge Ibaka. Like, Serge Ibaka is so much better than John Collins. He's better in every way than John Collins, except for maybe you could argue John Collins shoots the ball a little better wide open. And that's a maybe. But yeah, so you've only got 10k MT. But somehow you want to replace cards for under 50k. I mean, Kurylenko for John Collins if you have 50k. You've only got 10k MT though, so Josh Smith for John Collins. And I mean, you've got Larry Hughes and Ben Gordon, who are both probably better than Kyrie Irving. As much as I do actually like Kyrie Irving, I mean, I can't argue that he's not a terrible value player. So, yeah. Let's go. Okay, this is interesting. You're grinding for Yao, planning to grind for Tatum, so we'll have everyone for the 90s locked in, waiting for my team to have Siakam before the season's over. Okay, so. Does he have Akeem Olajuwon? Okay, he has Akeem. I was about to say, I do not understand why he's using that version of Giannis and Tracy McGrady at this stage of the game, but obviously he locked in for Hakeem, so if you lock him, okay. Chris Mullen needs to go. I don't even mind Iverson that much, but Mullen needs to go. I'm trying to give a small forward better than Mullen for less than 30 KMT. There are so many of them, I just can't think in my head. Like, Mike Miller's obviously 100 times better. Like, Mike Miller, way better. Who else is there? You could play a small forward that's just way better than Chris Mullen. It's essentially free. I mean, that's a weird one. Because there are so many that I've drawn a blank. There are so many really good. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Two players pay 2,000 MT on Eddie Jones and he's better than Chris Mullen. So yeah, this is so weird. This is such a weird one because I'm trying to think in my head what player to replace Mullen with, and I just can't. Scottie Pippen's way better. Oh my god. I just completely drawn a blank. Like, Mike Miller, Scottie Pippen, oh my god, I need to actually look through my collection. Heck, Jeff Green's better, Darius Miles is better. Steven Jackson is free, who takes like not even half an hour, it takes like 20 minutes to get. Go get Steven Jackson, who's better. I mean, if you have 50 KMT, but go by Rudy Gay. Victor Oladipo might even be better to run at the 3. Run Oladipo at the 2, run Jaylen Brown at the 3. Buddy Hield's better. Clay's better, who's like 40k. Just so many better guys than Chris Mullen. But yeah, so that's the one player I would definitely change. I would definitely change Mullen. Other than that, your team's fine. Your team is fine. So, yeah, now we are on to... It is an interesting one. Going for DeAndre, and he'll be on the squad soon. Really like Kyrie and also really like Joe Johnson. Looking to replace Aaron Gordon. Okay, so... Your backup center is Daniel Gafford. I think he's more of a player to replace than Aaron Gordon. So you got 53,000 MT to work with. Okay, so... The first players that you should replace is not Aaron Gordon. The first player you should replace is your center. Go get yourself Serge Ibaka. The guy's 10,000 MT, if even. You want to replace Aaron Gordon, go get yourself Josh Smith. So those two guys, say Serge Ibaka's like 6 or 7k. Those two guys are really like 15, 16k between them. And you get those two guys in there, and you're shored up at the power forward, small forward, power forward, or say power forward and center position. Then your bench, Wall's fine, Oladipo's fine, Mikal Bridges is fine. Scotty at the 4, I don't like. I would probably play Scotty at the 3 and sell Mikal Bridges, but if you want to run Mikal Bridges and sell Scotty, that's fine. Then at the power forward position, I would run with Darius Miles and at center. If you want to run Evan Mobley center off the bench, do it, but I think he's a little bit weak. I would probably run... I think Thon's a little better, but Thon's not enough better. Run Evan Mobley. He's not that bad. But yeah, this team's... It's not the greatest. It really is not the greatest. But, I mean, Joe Johnson and Kyrie are fine. This guy says, keeping Luka because he's your favorite player. Anyone else can go. Okay. So Embiid, there is no reason for Joel Embiid to be there. I just need to be clear. There is absolutely no reason why Joel Embiid should be in this squad. Embiid is just bad. He's just bad. Vucevic is just bad. So, sell Joel Embiid. You've only got 5,000 MT. Again, I don't know what Joel Embiid sells for. I just want to be clear about that. I do not know what Joel Embiid sells for. So, it could just be a ridiculously low amount and you're not getting anything out of him. But surely you can use the MT to sell. To use the MT from selling Joel Embiid to go and buy yourself... I don't know, like... Actually buy instead of Joel Embiid. Again, there are so many... Freaking Surge. Let's go get Surge. Replace Vucevic with Birdman. Birdman, replace him. Replace Evan Mobley with Josh Smith. Replace CJ McCollum with Bob Serra. You can keep Dame if you want. You can keep Jaylen Brown if you want. Obviously, you're keeping Luka. Hagen's fine. I don't like Hagen, but he's fine. And then Scottie Pippen. Yeah, I'll put Scottie in. I'll keep Scottie there. So yeah, you can very easily make this team a lot better, even without like just selling Embiid. Like if you sold Embiid, you could probably afford to buy Serge, Birdman, and Josh Smith, and that would, and also Serra. You could probably buy 4 of them for the price of Embiid, and that really, really makes your team a lot better. And to be honest, I would have to give that suggestion to sell. Like once you sell Embiid, your team gets way better. Okay, let me take a look. Ideally, not a 2K MT Central squad or 2K DB squad. Trying to take a look at a squad that's like every squad that I'm scrolling by is a good squad, and you all know your squad's good. I'm looking for a squad that I can actually give a bit of advice for. And again, if you are watching this video and you see me scrolling past your squad, trust me, it means your squad is fine. It means you shouldn't not worry about your squad. That's perfectly fine. DeMar's plays over. Yeah, like Tatum's really good. Okay, current gen usually run. He says current gen usually run through LeBron and Penny. Focus on mismatch when possible. Smart off the bench for buckets. I've never in my life heard somebody say Smart off the bench for buckets. So yeah, click the wrong button there. Never in my life heard somebody say that. But that Dwayne Wade's terrible. I just really want to make that clear. That Dwayne Wade sucks. So for me, I would not use that Wade ever. I would honestly not use that Wade ever. He's bad. His shoot, like, you have to really badge him up, and his shooting's not good. If you want to use a Dwayne Wade at the point, use the other Wade. The other Wade's good, that Wade's bad. And that Wade is not a card that I'm a fan of. And it's not even a good card. It's not even that I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I just personally do not believe that it's a good card in the slightest. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that card needs a bit of work. Who else? Who else is there that could be changed? Bull, what the hell is Bull doing in this team? Why is Mirasan with 55 stamina in the team? You got 8,000 MT. Why is Mirasan with 55 stamina in the team? Why is Mitchell Robinson there? Why do you have freaking 75th LeBron James, who is a scary amount of money? Like, he's not cheap. He's not cheap at all. But yeah, you've got... I don't even mind Taco, but Mirasan and Bull. And they're silly. They're silly players to have in your team. I like you've got the Penny duo off the bench. I like Oladipo. I don't even... Like, if you just put Birdman in for... if you put Birdman or Ibaka in for Mirasan, I'd be okay with the bench, honestly. Your bench is pretty okay. Honestly, just go get yourself Larry Hughes. Sell Dwayne Wade. Use the Dwayne Wade money, which is probably over 100k. You can keep Harden, keep LeBron. Use that Dwayne Wade money, buy Andre Kurolenko for power forward. And yeah, basically it. That's basically it. I genuinely do think that this team is, for what it is, like, considering the fact you have so much MT tied up in a LeBron James card, that is okay, is good, but isn't a focal point. Like, if LeBron's your focal point, you're going to struggle. But yet, you've managed to make a lineup where the only player that can do anything in your starting lineup is Harden. I know you might like to run through LeBron, but let's be real, Harden's the only player that's doing anything in that starting lineup. So, yeah, I don't rate this team at all. I do apologize. That's a 4, like, that's a 5 out of 10, if even. You've got 55 stamina, Mirasan off the bench. It's a 5 out of 10. Again, I cannot see this team. I'm not going to rate these teams, but I do appreciate the theme teams. Let's see again. I just need a squad here and I can give a few tips to. So many of these squads are basically the same. Okay. 280 KMT on current gen, really close to Aiden, who will replace Boozer, grinding for Tatum. Okay, so you'll have Tatum, who's probably going to replace Scotty Barnes. Aiton's going to replace Boozer. I was about to say, oh, you've got some weak links, and I'm like, I mean, I don't even mind Boozer, but I will admit, like, in today's game, yeah, Boozer is not that great the way my team is right now. You probably should replace Boozer. Serge is good. I mean, I like Larry. DeRozan's fine. Your point guards are fine. Your two guards are fine. You have no flaw. This team has no flaws, really. Like, the one flaw is kind of being in the process of being, like, rectified. So, once you get Tatum, once you get Ayton, and then you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. Maybe even sell Wall and replace him with Larry Hughes to make it a little bit empty. And then buy, like, an AK instead of Larry Bird. You get 280k MT, probably would buy. I would buy an AK if I were you. So AK super. Like, for, like, AK is just superb value. He's just superb value. So, let me have a look. Okay. Not a lot of Reggie Lewis cards. We saw a lot of Reggie Lewis cards last week where I got extremely jealous considering I've played so many freaking games for that guy. Let's see. Reward squad. Wow. You can really make... The last 2 years you've been able to make really good reward squads. You've been able to make really, really good reward squads. Like, if I see a Steph Curry and it's evident the person's a 3 hunter, I won't question it. Okay, again, I'm going to scroll through these because there are 500 of them. Okay. Let me take a look at this. So, Donovan Mitchell-Clay. Kevin Durant, Yao Ming, Tatum. With James. Jameson's a weird player to have. I know a lot of people locked in for him to get Yao early, but still. Have both rings. The weirdest part is like having both rings towards Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, I didn't even get the ring this week because I literally just sat there like, Bob Sir is better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What's his name? Larry Hughes is better than Shai. Why would I waste my time on Shai? But I don't know. Like, if you want Shai, go get Shai. Shai's gonna be really good. Like, I don't think I'll regret not getting Shai unless he's needed for like a squad builder or something. But like, he's not. Like, we're probably gonna get a dark matter version of him, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah. So looking at this team, Siakam at center, that can be a bit iffy. Like, Siakam definitely can be a bit iffy at center. But the thing is with Siakam at center is that you've got Ayton. You got Ayton there. And when you've got Ayton there, you're good. You don't need to worry. You've got DeAndre Ayton there. I mean, this is like a really good team. I don't know why I clicked on. I clicked on because I saw the two teams. But yeah, that is pretty much a flex squad. Dude, you got Yao Ming in like the first week. I'm sitting on like 20,000 MT. Or 20,000 XP. Yeah, so his team here, he says runs Hawks 2018, planning selling Westbrook when I get Larry Hughes. After that, you should have 100k. Okay, so with 100k, I'd spend half of that on Kristaps. And that's the only change I make to your team. The rest of your team is fine. Honestly, the rest of your team is completely fine. And heck, even John Collins is fine to run, but I would still strongly suggest just Kristaps. I think he's a 7-3 big. He's super effective in game. He can mash. Unless you're playing against Yao, he can mash. But he's also tall enough that he can kind of deal with Yao. And he's mobile enough that he can deal with a lot of other players. So, for me, he's just a super slept on player. I'd advise most people to, again, pick up Kristaps if you have. If you've got more than 100k spare and you don't have him at center, I'd probably buy him. Because there's no way he drops below like 25, 30k for at least another 4 weeks. And like, again, if you get a couple of weeks of good play out of him and he does drop like 25, 30, and it's not the end of the world. So yeah, that's probably the one change I would make. So I'm going to go over two more teams, and these are going to have to be teams that need a good bit of work. Okay. I mean, at this stage, there are so many good players that not many people, and again, not many people just have bad teams. Like, I remember back when I first started doing these in 2K20, like, there were legitimately, like, awful teams out there. But now it seems like most people kind of have an idea of what a good team looks like. And even things like Steph that I don't particularly like myself, I can see why people like Steph. So, like, even that Jam Morant one up there, it's like someone buys out their Jam and they want to use them. Well, we scroll through all 500. By the looks of things, or all the non-hidden ones. Okay, so let's take a look at the Ja one. Trying to get Tatum. Willing to change anyone. Ja is badged up with defensive badges. I mean, I'm not particularly high on Dame. That's just a personal thing. I think Dame defensively is very, very weak. I think as far as defense, like point guards go on defense, he is one of the weaker ones. And it's not even just to do with stats and badges. Like, it's something to do with his player build. I would replace DeAndre Ayton as well. You've got Serge. I would move Serge. I'd buy Josh Smith. And I don't know if I'd probably move Serge to backup center and start Josh Smith at power forward. Because that's the way I'd do it. But if you wanted to bring Josh Smith as a center off the bench and you wanted to move or keep Serge at power forward, that's fine as well. But John Collins is not even close to Josh Smith. Like, whatever way you want to do it, there's no reason why Josh Smith shouldn't be in the team, especially for your MT total. Because again, you don't have the Kristaps money. And I would probably get Larry Hughes in for Dame. He just does more. And you can get him in like 25 minutes. So he's really not a player that takes a long time to get in game, honestly. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the video. This is the I Rate Your Team post what was it, Playoff Rush edition? Like the Playoff Rush, just like Spotlight Sims and Moments of the Month, it gives players cards. Like as in, almost everyone at least has some competent players. Like yeah, you mightn't have like the greatest squad in the world. Like if you're running with like Ben Gordon, he's not gonna be as good as Melo. If you're running with Zebo, a power forward, he may not be the best player in the world either. But at the end of the day, it has given a lot of people a lot of competent cards. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. If you guys want me to rate your team, go follow me on Twitter and wait. I will tweet sometime next weekend just asking you guys to send teams. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.